Kev here, about to give you some night action here at Norris Lake, Tennessee. We already got our boat anchored down. We got our lights in the water. We're in 21 feet with the water temperature at 78.9, with it being right at 79 with the sun setting. So we were going to try to catch some crappie primarily, but we got a little fishing pole set up to try to snag some walleye, much like I did last month, but it didn't really end up with any fish at all. So luckily the live video stream wasn't all that long, so not a whole big deal, whatever. Went over a lot though in that video stream. Talked about where my grandmother had died back on April the 1st. We are still on the healing process of things, but the Lord's got her in his hands, and she's still singing in the choir, so that's all smiles here, because that ain't our last goodbye, Anyway, with that being out of the way real quickly, also want to give a shout out. Let's go ahead and get some shout outs out of the way. We got well, I'll be darned. I want to look stupid here, folks. I'm sorry. I got so busy setting up, had a person that was driving by me here. I told him who I was, and I want to seriously apologize, my friend. I'm the world's worst with names and remembering. And hey, babe, I'm glad you got to see me live before you go to bed. Holy cow. I'm dumber than a box of rocks right now. I'm trying to think of the guy's name that he just told me to give him a shout out. I hope that he sees this video and understands I ain't the brightest crayon in the box. So I apologize for him, but I do want to give a shout out to you. If you see this and you know who I'm talking about, leave a comment and let everybody know that's who I'm shouting out for. I appreciate you checking my channel and all that, and everybody else too that's going to hop on live and check out the channel. Appreciate y'all that are going to watch. Thank y'all that's already subscribed. Those that are going to watch that hadn't subscribed yet, hopefully it's going to be a good night where y'all enjoy this video and that y'all do want to subscribe. But anyway, we're not about that here as far as the subscription goes. It's very nice, and I definitely appreciate y'all for the support for this channel. But tonight, it's all about fishing. It's all about fishing and just being here in God's great outdoors. So let's get it. We already got some fish flipping over here off the banks here. So we're going to deal with that. Also deal with a bunch of boaters that are going to come up this cove right here over to this little launch. There's a bass tournament that goes on just about every Tuesday here. So there's going to be a lot of boat traffic throughout the night, probably up to about midnight. Hopefully we'll get all those out sooner rather than later. But let's go ahead and get to fishing. Let's stop talking about it. So we got a little tripod right here I want to set up. I want to see. This is actually the wife's tripod. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. I'm stuttering. I already can't talk. It's because you're on here and you're making me nervous, love. You need to stop that. You make me nervous here. Okay. There's that. Let's see here. Bring that up a little bit. Let's go down. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh man. I got on I meant to do it like that. Darn it. That's okay. Alrighty. So before it gets too dark, let's go ahead and try get all this situated out and letting y'all see what we're doing here. I'm gonna sit right here real briefly. Man, I really do feel stupid though. I had every intention. I was trying to get set up and I got caught talking to a guy and he told me to give him a shout out, and I really do feel silly for forgetting his name already. Heck, if it wasn't for my wife, I forget my name, so I appreciate you, honey. I really do. I think I've already said that, but I can't say it enough. Anyway, we've got 1, 2, 3. I believe I got a 4th pole for crappie back here. I don't think I'm going to bring it out, but I've got another pole regardless that is going to be used for walleye fishing. but I'm not going to use any spoons or anything like that, or plugs or whatever, since I'm anchored down. I could use spoons, but I'm just thinking there's a lot of shad in this water right now. So we're going to go ahead and just leave what I had rigged up from the last night fishing trip that I had with the treble hook and the egg sinker, probably about maybe 15 to 20 inches from the treble hook itself. Leave that like that and try to snag some shad whenever we start getting the light, or drawing up to the light here. I already got somebody here that's tuned in. I can't see who you are, but I appreciate you hopping on and watching live. I'm just now getting set up, so if you want to leave and come on back, you're most welcome to. If you want to stick around, I really appreciate you. But right now, we're going to get through the little boring parts of this video right here. I always stick to what I know, and what I know is it's 4-pound test when it comes to crappie fishing. I love that it is, as you know, for 4 pounds, the action that I want out of a crappie when I'm fighting for it, it's just right for me. You know, got to set the drag a little bit to keep from popping the line, because sometimes they'll make that line scream. You think crappie are a lazy fish until they prove you wrong. So that's why I got 4-pound test on here. A little bit of a challenge. I've had a buddy of mine that told me that he wants me to do a 2-pound test. Stop being a sissy about it. But I haven't went out to the store to buy any 2-pound tests yet. And honestly, I don't even think, as far as I remember, seeing 2-pound tests sold at the store. So I'm gonna have to probably go and buy it online, which that's whatever. I don't care. I like the challenge anyway. But yeah, this is 4-pound test. This fishing pole I got right here, if I set it up right, it is a 9-foot pole. This is going to be the pole that I will most likely use for right here at the back of the boat, kind of away from the light, to see what crappie might be wanting to come around away from the light. I got a 7-foot rod. I think I showed you that already. I also got 4-pound test on it. This right here, this is the strand, I think, no, spider wire. I think it's spider wire. This 9-foot pole right here, sorry, I'm kind of getting jumbled up. But anyway, this right here, it's a spider wire, and it's got that colorful high-vis kind of looking line on it. I normally, when I buy a fishing pole that's already got line on the spool, I'll just take it off, because most of the time it's junk. This right here is actually pretty decent line. I bought this pole out of Hammers in Clinton, Tennessee, and they came with that line, and I was like, well, just for the challenge, I'm going to see what it's like. And it, you know, normally lines like that, they got a lot of memory, that kind of nature. It's been pretty good for me, so we'll stick with that. But this, however, this is the Shakespeare micro series that I always use here. It's a very good, cheap rod. Take care of it, it'll take care of you, that kind of deal. 4-pound test from Suffolk. It's got the G2, no, not the G2 line. It's a low vis, dark green kind of color line on it. I wish I remember better details than that, but that's all I've got. Anyway, that's what we're using right here as well. And this other pole that I've got right here, it's actually, I need to get it. It's in the, I'm sitting on it. Well, not on it, but I've got in this little compartment right here. I need to get it out. But yeah, it's starting to get a little dark here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my little headlamp on. Take my hat off. I don't need it no more. I sweat like a dog anyway. All I do is get that darn thing sweaty, so I don't even have any use for it. What was I doing? Oh yeah. I can't believe how silly I am. That's probably the 3rd time I brought this up, but it's in my head now. I'm trying all in the world to remember that gentleman's name. Told me to shout out to, and then boom, the name just leaves my head, because that's how stupid I am. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I really am. I hope, like I said, I hope you see this and you know who I'm talking about. All right, so that's good. I should have checked that before it got dark, to see, or at least before I got on the boat, to see if it would still work. So thank goodness it still works. One other thing that's stupid about me, and it's a good thing I carry tools on my truck, but I'd rather you not want to do this. This is what I'm using to measure fish tonight. I know you're thinking, how redneck can you get? Well, this is how redneck you can get. This hammer right here is definitely about 1 foot long, from head to the back right here. So I'm going to use it to measure fish. There's no doubt about it that this is past 10 inches. Ain't no doubt about it. Crappie, you got to keep at 10 inches. You can only keep 10 per person here at Norris Lake. Walleye, you can keep at 16 inches, 5 per person, walleye. Now, what I'm going to do is I've actually got 3 different little tackle boxes in my little tackle box bag that I've got. And what I'll do is I'll put those together, or I'll put 2 together if I end up catching a walleye tonight, and I'll measure it that way. I don't think we're going to catch walleye tonight, but I'm just in the hopes of it because the water temperature is just right for the walleye to kind of be both in the shallows and in the depths at night. So we're just going to see what happens. But I feel comfortable about catching some crappie tonight regardless. If it ain't for walleye, it's crappie. So we got that going on. Let's see here. I'll get my little headlamp. Amongst all my groceries right there, I got my groceries with me. It is a very muggy night. Ooh, that's bright. Yep, I like bright. We need bright. All right. I look funny, don't I? Look like a little. Yeah, sorry, folks. I know this is a fishing channel, and here I am acting like a goober. So, alrighty. Man, I'm gonna have to do that just so y'all can see me. Fun Fishing Adventures. Hello, friend. Thank you for watching and tuning in, man. I'm about to get us set up here, start putting some bait in the water here. I just got finished with the introductions of what I was using as far as line. Oh, I forgot to mention about the walleye pole. It's 8-pound test line, also Suffix, also the low vis green line, but I believe it's the G2 brand, or the name of the line that I'm using. All of that right there is very good line to me. Very stretchy. That I like the stretchiness, and that's why I love fishing for bass on it. It's not very strong when you have to fight against brush, like if you catch a bass, whatever, and it wants to rub against brush. Definitely want to use stronger line than that. But for this application, I'm not really around any brush. The closest brush, to be honest, that I've got is right here next to the bank, probably 20 feet away from me, maybe less than that, but not by much. Yeah, buddy, I appreciate you checking in on me, man. Like I said, I'm about to get set up here and start getting all the lines wet and getting some bait in the water, start catching some fish. Chucky Mel, hey, Chucky, that's who you are, Chucky. Shout out to you, buddy. But I'm telling you right now, I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried 3 different times to remember you since I started going live. Who in the world I was supposed to go and make a shout out to right off the bat, and I couldn't figure it out from my life depending on it. Chucky, I appreciate you hopping on and commenting, man. I'm sorry I forgot you there at first. I'm the world's worst with names, so. But like I said, thank you for hopping on. We're gonna, hopefully turn this luck around. So Chucky told me earlier that y'all didn't catch a thing, even with live worms. That stinks. I'm just telling y'all right now, that flat out sucks. So we're going to try to do our best to change that luck and see if we can get Chucky back out here and do some night fishing instead of day fishing. Maybe that's what the difference is. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get to putting some bait in the water. And it's just something as simple as minnows. That's all I'm using. Live minnows bought out of the gas station store in Andersonville. There's some pretty good folks over there too. They just sold their business out last year, and some new owners came in, raised the prices up on them minnows. I hate they raised the prices up, but a man's going to have some way to fish at night, and minnows is the way to go. Let me sneeze here for a second. Excuse me. Man alive. Bless him. All right. Here we go. I'll be darned if I already don't see a bunch of bait swimming around the light here. That's pretty cool. A lot of people has different ways of hooking minnows. I just hook them right through the belly right there. I'm gonna set this pole right there at the front of the light. I say in front of the light, I guess there's no really certain specific spot and which side the light's on. But anyway, right here towards the bank, I should say. That's probably, give or take, probably about 15 feet where I'm going to set the front of this pole at. All right. I'm going to get our second pole right here ready. I've already got it wrapped around this walleye jig right here. Well, I'll be darned. Hang on a second. Boy, and I made a mess. You can probably hear the boats already flying behind me here. Trying to get in and get their tallies up for what bass they've caught. Or the lack of bass. I've had people tell me all the time, buddy, why don't you go bass tournament fishing? I love fishing for the enjoyment of relaxing. I don't need to go bass tournament fishing. Let's see what y'all said here. I just got service and hop on. Yep. Thank you, love. I hope I catch them all for you. Get us a little dinner tonight, okay? Well, it's not like we're gonna eat dinner tonight, but you know what I mean. I'll probably be able to cook some fish for you tomorrow. I can't believe what kind of a mess I've already got right here. I'll be darned. Somehow, in the middle of working all this around, the line got loose from the loop that I've had the hook set in. And they decided to wrap around this 100 different ways. Make sure I didn't catch a fish right there. I tell you what, when it comes to this kind of stuff right here, I am the world's worst in knots. Without even trying, I find 5 different ways to make a knot here. All right, now that we got that all settled, okay, let's see here. Mr. Chucky. Yep, Chucky, we're going to try to turn your luck around for the night, buddy. I'll be darned. Come on, there you go. All right, I'm gonna set this one pretty deep, actually. I know I'm not either. Look at that. Well, you probably can't see it. Yeah, that line right there, that's a wadded up mess right there. Caused all kinds of crazy memory. We're gonna have to cut the line here real quick before we even get to start fishing. Well, I got a good minnow on. Sorry to put the light in y'all's face. I'm trying not to blind you. I'm trying to let y'all, man, I can't even. Let's see here. There you go. Well, it don't help that much, but a little bit better. Alright, let's get all this line cut right here from its memory. It's already trying to build up memory right there, and I haven't even started it yet. Good Lord. Alright. Put the bill right here. Yep, you're going to hear them all night long, folks. But that's okay. Part of it. We'll deal with it and manage it. So, truth be told, last year I done a night fishing video. I was in the kayak, and I was actually a lot further up than this. And I'll be darned, I picked a night where they were all doing bass tournament fishing too. And buddy, you talking about rocking the boat. Buddy, I tell you what, I was in for a ride that night. And that little kayak, that don't take much. That don't take much at all. Normally, when I'm using floats or whatever, I'll just grab floats from those that like broke their line or whatever, and I'll just pick those up. And I'm both cleaning up the lake and recycling at the same time. But in this case, I'm going to use itty bitty. It's probably hard to see. Well, yeah, anyway. There you go. I got a little bit of life left. Light left. Yeah, I got some life left. Anyway, itty bitty little float right there. Want to be just big enough to keep that minnow swimming around to where hopefully when we catch a crappie, that crappie feels absolutely no resistance whatsoever. That's right there, the whole goal is to keep the crappie from feeling any kind of resistance at all. So we're trying that. Let's see here. Well, I'll be darned, I thought I bought a whole thing of sinkers. But I apparently have lost my mind. Tell you what I need. I need a darn drink of water. Oh, smart water. Smart water? Smart water. That's some good water, buddy. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I done lost my mind, folks. Ha! I said that before. Don't take much to lose. My wife always says you can't lose what you never had, so. Which that's a fair point. I can't say she's wrong. Those sinkers are for the big dogs. I can't use those. Well, I can use these right here, though. Yep. Finally got the minnows. Or my minnows, my sinkers. The ones that I'm looking for. Okay. Now we got that out of the way, we will get our hook. There might be a point in time tonight where I'm going to try to retie for using a slip bobber. It just depends on how deep they are. But I don't see them being too deep tonight, but we'll see what happens. All right, polymer knot, 2 loops, singe, cut the tag. Listen to the bass boats go by. Hang on, folks. I'm sorry. I know I see some of y'all's comments here. I'm trying to get this fixed up where I can start fishing with the second pole here. Well, I'll be darned. What did I not do right? These darn sinkers. What's wrong? Huh. Try that again. All right, that's cramped. Actually, what I need to do first is see, okay, let's see what we got here. What's going on, Jimmy? Buddy, I haven't seen you in a while. I appreciate you hopping on and seeing me, man. It's good talking to you. Fun fishing, I'll subscribe, check out. Hey, I appreciate you, Fun Fishing Adventures. I do. I really appreciate you so much. You know, that's one of the other reasons I want to go live is kind of get to be able to react with, or interact, I should say. I cannot talk. I'm excited. But be able to get to interact with all the people on here that's been watching and supporting this channel. It's an awesome privilege to be able to get to meet y'all. Obviously, I know it's not formal in such a way where we're face to face, but y'all have been very, very kind and loving, and I appreciate every one of y'all. I really do. As soon as I get this bad boy situated, we'll get to settle down and finally be able to get to look at who's on and talking to you, and hopefully be able to pull some fish in. That is the ultimate goal. All right, before I set this, before I get the minnows on, I want to see this would even. No, that ain't even going to do it. That won't work. I want to need a different float. That's right, bud. It's all about meeting new people. There's a lot of good people out here in this world. The news will never cover that, but at least we can here on YouTube land. So, like I said, buddy, I sure do appreciate you hopping on. You might be able to get to meet my wife here. She been commenting once in a while. I don't know if she's still watching or not. She's probably getting ready to go to bed, but she's on and been saying a couple things here, supporting me and whatnot. Pretty awesome, man. Be able to do this right here. All right, we're going to use another live minnow right here. Now I have used, there we go. Sorry, I have used Bobby Garland's in the dark before. Here they come, y'all. I have used bobby garlands in that before, but I don't really do all too good with them. I might, no, this is a plain hook and sinker too, so that's all right. We'll fish with that. Yeah, these bass boats, they love flying through here at night, buddy. And I get it, bass tournament fishing, it's fun and it's thrilling. I've never been in one, but I know that it's fun and thrilling and stuff. I don't kick on bass fishermen. I just kick on those that don't have any, what's the word, common sense when they're driving their boats around, flying around. They get in such a hurry about everything, and then they go and, you know, cause accidents when they're not paying attention, or near misses, I should say. You know, I had a good buddy of mine. He was on a kayak fishing over at Watts Bar, and he was doing some kind of tournament over there, but it was just for kayaks. It had been a little while back, but these bass tournament fishermen were going through. They, you know, that's all fair. It's, you know, everybody's, you know, they have equal rights to use that water. But this bass tournament fisherman came up on that kayak, and I'm not kidding you, the way that I'm sitting in the boat right here, I could reach out and touch the kayaker. That's how close he was, fishing next to him. And no, they weren't fishing for the same fish, but it's just common courtesy. And the guy's like, man, you're right on top of me. He said, I'm fishing for bass and you're not. He said, it doesn't matter what I'm not fishing for or what I am fishing for. Get away from me, you know. I don't care if you fish over there or fish over here, but you're literally on top of me. And that kind of stuff just irritates the fudge out of me. I just no respect, no decency in much of fishing anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody's a bunch of buttholes. I mean, you know, for the most part, nobody's a bunch of buttholes. It's just those few that are a bunch of buttholes that ruins it for everybody else. It's like police officers. You got that one bad apple in every bunch, and then everybody thinks that every daggum police officer here is a bunch of racist cowards and, you know, just a bunch of tyrants. And I'm like, you know, one doesn't represent everybody. But anyway, that's just ranting on that deal. Don't really see a whole lot of action on them poles just yet, but I say that once them boaters died down a little bit, we're going to see a little bit more action. That's just my theory. All right, let's turn the light off for a bit. Oh, y'all can't see me though. That's all right. All right. There we go. All right. Well, let's see here. All right. So here we are. Finally gotten everything going on. Sorry, buddy. Let me read what you got. You're out of Missouri, Fun Fishing Adventures. Hey, I've been wanting to go, and I don't know what kind of fishing specifically is in Missouri River, I watched a video a few years back where there was a gentleman, he was fishing the Missouri River. It wasn't in Missouri, I think it was in South Dakota. But he was catching all kinds of crappie and he was catching all kinds of walleye. And I said, that's on my bucket list. One day I'd like to go fishing the Missouri River. So good to see you out of Missouri here, buddy. Hold on, I'm not really good at reading from afar. It was a smaller channel, not. We jumped over 2,000 subs in the past 6 months. Hey, 2,000 subs. Hey, good job, man. With a small trailer not too long ago myself, they are afraid the bass will get away. Yeah, that's about the truth right there, buddy. Fishing adventures, I appreciate you hopping on, buddy. You never fished the Missouri. Well, man, I tell you what, there's going to be one day I'm going to go out there and fish the Missouri River, and when I have that on my list and I start heading that way, I'm going to send you a message through YouTube, and before I make that trip, we can try to get together, man, and see what we can get out of the Missouri River. How does that sound, buddy? But I appreciate you hopping on and tuning in. I know you didn't see much action, but I got to meet you nevertheless and started talking to you here personally, so appreciate you hopping on and hope you have yourselves a really good night, man, okay? All right, let's see here. We're gonna see. Well, all right. Thank you, Fishing Adventures. I appreciate you with the good luck, and yeah, have a good night, man. All right. So with the educated guess that I've got about how the night's going to go, we're going to hopefully get these bass tournament fishermen out of here real soon, get them calmed down to where we can get the crappie to come out a little bit. I don't think they're bashful about boat traffic, but this is a lot more boat traffic than they're used to, so especially given at the time of this night. So I say once we get all this knocked out of the way, we'll be fine. So this pole right here, I forgot to mention about this pole. This is the one that is the dough bait Bass Pro Shops fishing pole. It's about I think this one's like 5.5 feet long or something like that. Might be right at 6 foot. I can't tell without looking. But anyway, this right here is an ultralight rod. I've also got the Suffix 4-pound test on it as well, same as the other poles that I've got. That's always been my go-to, man. And some people, they like to go in and experiment to kind of make their videos a little bit more entertaining. And I mean, kudos to them. They make it work. But for me, I like to stick with what I know. And this right here works out pretty good for me. So we're going to hopefully catch some fish right here. Some really good fish too, but we'll just have to see. Man, I tell you what, it's the first time doing this right here. I'm a little jumpy, to be honest with you. Trying to make sure that my poles don't fall in the water right here. But looks like we're pretty set right now. We're gonna calm down a little bit here. This is gonna be probably a little bit of a downtime, like I said, because a bunch of these bass fishermen are driving by about as fast as they can to get back to the launch here. It'll be hard for me to tell or to show y'all if I try to turn the camera here and let y'all see what's going on. But we got a bunch of headlights, we got a bunch of boats, we got a bunch of everything going on right here behind y'all. Much like what it was like last year. I mean, nothing you can do about it. see real quick what we got here under the lights. Yeah, let me show you all this real quick. We got quite a bit actually. Not enough to start snagging yet, but here, let me get you in on it. I don't know if you can see all that. Yeah, but that's what we're looking at right there. So far, they're just kind of meandering around. Like I said, I don't know if y'all saw that, but hopefully y'all did. But they're just meandering around and not really starting to swim in a circle just yet. It won't be long before they'll start that though. Don't mistake that. Oh, you gotta love it. All these bass tournament fishermen coming on by. Thing that stinks about seeing or hearing all these boats going by, I've yet to hear the whippoorwill. I love hearing that bird singing, but he ain't come out yet. Hopefully he'll be out here next little bit. About a couple of months ago, there was a bald eagle that was flying around this spot that I've been fishing at too. I've not seen him when I pulled up, but that's also a pretty cool sight, man. Seeing a bald eagle there, representing old great USA, buddy. Can't beat it. I might have something on this pole, I'm not sure. No, that's that darn minnow. That's a strong minnow, buddy. I'm daring to throw this one out on a float. See what I can get on it. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna put it on this one. I'm gonna put it on the 9-foot one. See how good that 9-foot one will do for me. All right. Pardon me, folks. So we got on each side of the boat, this side over here is the one that's got the light dropped under. I got one directly under that light. I got one over here on the other side, a little bit away from it. And then I've got this 9-foot pole that I put a little bobber on, and it's about 8 feet from the minnow to the bobber. And I threw it about as far away from where the edge of the light kind of stops as I could. So we're going to try that right there. There we go. It is pretty bright, but thing about the light right here is obviously it's getting warm, bugs are getting out. That's the only thing I hate about having a light like this is it draws a lot of them. Oh, that's that minnow working. It draws a lot of them bugs around. I would just play the waiting game. I love it. You gotta love it here. These bass fishermen coming around and just boom in the middle of the dark like this. No headlights to show on the water. Make sure there's no, stumps or anything floating. They could really damage the hull of your boat. Nothing like that. Just so that they can get that extra minute in, trying to get their weigh-ins. Because right now it's 9:44. I wouldn't have a doubt in my mind if the weigh-in's at 10 o'clock. That's probably why they're all going crazy trying to get to the boat ramp right here. I mean, you can see it's full, buddy. I've already said this to a bunch of guys and gals that knows about Norris. I mean, how am I trying to say? When it comes to Norris Lake fishing, there is anyway. There's a lot of people that knows when it comes to Norris Lake fishing that it's either a hit or a miss, and there is no in between. Hopefully tonight's not a miss. We got a full moon that's going to come up here in the next day or two, and that moon is going to be bright tonight. Like I said, hopefully it's going to bring out quite a bit of walleye too, if not crappie. But that's part of fishing. That's just we gotta see how that goes. But sometimes like last year, I started fishing about this time. I already had 3 crappie in the boat. So it's just untelling when they're going to start biting. It could be when they stop bringing these boats through here and causing a bunch of waves and fracas and everything. But I'll tell you another thing too about here in Tennessee. Normally May don't get crazy hot, but once in a blue moon it'll get hot. I'm telling you right now, it's not really that hot, but it is muggy as all get out. Yeah, it's very muggy. Now, that's the other thing too about tonight is compared to the last time I went live. So I was probably live for maybe an hour and a half, something like that. A lot of that had to do with where I had a low battery. So I didn't have anything to keep my phone charged. Well, I invested into about like a $10 deal where I already bought a battery, like a little small battery that I used to have for when I fished on the kayak in the night, and I used that for my drop light. And whenever I got this boat, really didn't need it anymore. I had my big batteries here for the boat itself for like the trolling motor and stuff. So anyway, that little battery right here, I mean, obviously I'll still use it if I need to when I go kayak fishing, but if I'm going night fishing, I'm just going to use the boat now. It's a lot safer anyway. A lot of people can see you better. But to the point, I'm using that small battery with the $10 investment of the little like cigarette lighter, and then you plug the positive and negative to the terminals there. I'm using that and my wife's car charger to keep my phone up charged, so we can go live as long as we want to. So what in the world? Crappie. First one of the night, and it's not even a keeper. He barely swam. Let's see here. Ow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it. All right. Not a keeper, but first crappie of the day. Not too bad. That one was way out from the light too, so. We know what the depths are now. What caught my attention was the back pole right here behind me, the line started moving away from me, which this was my fault for not paying attention. But when it started moving away from me, I thought, what in the world? When I started pulling on it, the line that I had the bobber on, it wrapped around it. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't put that big of a minnow on. So I started getting that untangled, and I started pulling on the bobber line to see what the deal was. That's what the deal was. First crappie of the night was not a keeper. That one was about, taking a wild guess here, that was probably about 8.5, almost 9 inches. We ain't trying to go for babies. We're trying to go for the biggins. Those babies ain't going to cut it. We need some food in the house. Mama Bear told me to go grocery shopping, so I plan on bringing back some groceries. What in the world is going on with this fool thing? I swear. I am the world's worst at creating noise. I cannot fathom what kind of knot just happened right here. That is unbelievable. Sorry for looking away from the light right there. Or looking away from the camera, I should say. I'm trying to fix this line right here where this really knot just came out of nowhere. Now we can settle back down. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Just fished Norris Friday night. Done all right on crappie. Had a great time. Hard to beat knife fishing. Cause the way it is. Yes, sir. You're absolutely right about that, buddy. I don't know if you saw that or not just a bit ago. Just caught a crappie there. Wasn't no keeper size by no means, but it's still life, buddy. It got fins and 2 eyeballs looking each way, so. Oh my goodness. You probably ain't got to worry about, or you didn't have to worry about dealing with bass tournament fishermen going crazy up and down this lake like I am right now. I don't know. I might be able to get it for you all to see this right here. Look at all that over there. That's what I'm seeing. You don't think that's a whole lot of action going on over there, and you probably thinking that's just a bunch of little, like, road lights or something like that. Nope. Nope, that's nothing but bass fishermen trying to get in while they can. That's all right. Everybody's having fun. We're having fun. There was hardly any boats. Yep. That's the way it is. That's the way it should be, man. That's the best kind of fishing when you're out here almost just about by yourself. Well, obviously, everybody wants to be by themselves completely, but, you know, everybody's got to have their share of God's great outdoors, and that's what we're here for, buddy. That's what we're all about. But yeah, had a little bit of luck. I want to say it was not last weekend, but the weekend before. I went day fishing over at Milton Hill Lake. I didn't do any videotaping, whatever. I don't know why. Just to me here lately, it's been kind of difficult getting any kind of inspiration to make the videos that I've got. I got one that I had fishing over at Ohio with a really good buddy of mine that I met over at the PlayStation. I tried to post it and the video quality was just awful. I don't know what happened when it was uploaded, but I tried to redo it and then it kept coming up with these little loading errors or whatever from, you know, having too much storage or whatever. And you clear that storage out and it still says that you can't load it up for the same reason it gave you. And you're like, I just give up. It's exhausting. So I'll get to it one day. It was a fishing trip that I had back in March, and I apologize to my buddy Zach, who I went fishing with. He's my really good buddy, and man, I thought that was a fish. Anyway, he treated me really good over there. We tried to go fishing for walleye and muskie. It didn't turn out the way we wanted to, so we ended up trying to go fishing for crappie here. Ha! Chucky, The way you were talking to me earlier, buddy, you might have some better luck in your creek than over here at Norris Lake. So I hope you catch something at least. But yeah, you just missed it, man. I don't know. You might have seen it here. I just caught a little crappie here. Wasn't no keeper, but it's got fins and two eyes looking in both directions. So, you know, at least we have that on camera there. Caught that off of a little bobber set up here. Like I said, about 8 feet from the minnow to the bobber here. So we're hoping that we'll pull some same luck from that deal here in the next little bit. Like I said earlier, I got 2 other poles right here. Besides that one, I got an ultralight and a regular Shakespeare 7-foot light rod. Trying to catch some crappie on that. The minnows are really starting to circle now, though. I see them right here on the other side, sitting here from this boat right here, and they're not thick just yet, but they're getting there. Oh man, I think I'm ready for a little snack, bud. There you are. All right, Nutter Butters. It's a good little snack here. Let's see what you got, Chucky. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to getting skunked fishing, it stinks, buddy. I already said that before. There's no other way to explain it, buddy. It just flat out stinks. You know, you get skunked, you don't catch fish, you use what you can, you all different types of baits, live, fake, grubs, cranks, spooks, whatever. I forgot exactly what all you said that you used. I'm sure you used just about everything but the wife's wedding ring there. But anyway, man, that just flat out stinks. Come on back, you know, get you a couple of little night lights and get you a little navigation light. Come on out here. We'll tie up and have a little redneck yacht club over here. Maybe we'll be able to pull some fish in that way, buddy. So, I've heard people, not personally, but I've heard people talk about them using bobby garlands and having better luck because because of how much minnows was around the light, and people were like, man, if we use something different, it'll catch their eye a lot more and they'll go for it. So hopefully, and I thought about doing that earlier, tying up a bobby garland, but I thought, well, got all these minnows right here. I'm going to use them first and see how we can do. Hopefully that'll do it. Kept noticing the boat whenever these waves were crashing against it. The boat just kept turning and turning and turning. Like, what in the devil? And I guess because of where them waves were hitting the boat so hard, it was just hard to keep the boat line where I like for it to be. Let's see what you said right here. If I didn't have to get up early in the morning and go to work, I probably would, but you know, I'm not leaving Mascot. It's a little too far for me to drive and don't have a boat that was. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I know all too well about, you know, over there in Mascot there, that is a pretty decent drive compared to where we were at here earlier. Got a sister-in-law. She lives out in Walleye, and she that feeds into the Holston River, some type of creek. They got all kinds of good fish in that creek. And then she told me, hey, I need to come out and try fishing. Well, oh yeah, sure, that'd be fine. Well, I got to looking. Doggone, I almost have to drive almost a full hour just to get to it from my house. Just to fish in a little creek. And I'm like, well, to some that might not be too far, but for me, I ain't about to drive an hour just to fish in a creek. So let's see, there's somebody. Same here, only got to go either Friday night or Saturday because of work, but I somewhat recently got a 2013 bass tracker, so it makes it more enjoyable when I do get to go. 1993 bass tracker is what I got right here, buddy. This was one that my uncle bought. He sold off his pontoon boat that he bought out of Bass Pro Shops and got this 93 bass tracker. It's got the original Evan Rue tracker motor on it. It's a 60 horse. This is a 17 foot TX model. It's old and it's got some of its wear and tears on it. It's an old boat, but it gets up and going, buddy. And it still stays up afloat and allows me to go fishing here, and that's all that matters, buddy. Them bass trackers, they're pretty good little boats. Boy, I didn't set the drag good enough for this little thing. Well, all right, crappie number 2. Let's see here. No, still no keeper though. Well, you're hooked in an awkward position, buddy. I don't know if I can get you. Come on. Golly, he's hooked in a very awkward position. Where I wasn't paying attention and he swallowed the hook. But the way that he swallowed it, so the problem is he's got it hooked in his gill slit, but barely away from where the vital part of that gill slit is. So what I'm going to do is cut the line. And that way, I mean, that hook, you can actually see the barb and everything. It's just right there. But if I try to pull that out of his gill slit, he's for sure gonna die. But yeah, just a little video thing. He's not bleeding. That's the most important thing, that he's not bleeding. There he goes. Well, I'll be. Come on, buddy. There you go. I must have hooked him more awkwardly than I thought. He didn't want to go down for nothing. Oh, he gone now. Well, this one was caught right here, pretty far away from the light. Which, unless if the pattern's changed, that tells me that the pattern is that they're going to be so many feet away from the light. Because that's about the way that one with the bobber that I had on was. The way he was kind of set away from the light there. All right, let's go get us another one. This is actually a pretty big minnow, what I'm about to use. All right. Well, got a little bit of action here. Let's see, 82 minutes in. That's quite a bit of time. Only 2 fish though, and neither of them are keepers. We're not doing too good, folks. Should have 3, at least 4 in the boat by now. We're not cooking with grease right now. We're catching something, but we need to get a little bit bigger. To be honest, this is a very bright light for it being a headlamp. All right, so the current time right now is 10:21. I want to take a peek on what we got here around the drop line. Oh yeah. Yeah, we got some action. Look at this, y'all. That's what we want to see right there. All right. So what I will do, I want to take this. Okay. Oh, good grief. I got yet another knot. I am the world's worst at knots. I don't understand how I can manage all of these knots. It's unbelievable. Not only that, this line has got tons of memory in it. Holy cow. Excuse me. I want you all, probably can't even see it. No, that's all right. There is a buttload of memory in this line right here. I mean, it is ungodly how much memory is in this line. So, I don't know if I ever went over this a little bit about myself or whatever. So, I'll go ahead and run that over for y'all since we're kind of in a little bit of a downtime. Well, I say that, hang on. Okay, no, we're still good. Okay, so anyway, I started out after high school. I worked as a janitor or a custodian or whatever you want to call them for school system uh, where I lived at, and I done that for 7 years. And I finally said, you know what, I need a change. So I went and got my CDL and started becoming a milkman for Prairie Farms. They moved down here in Tennessee and got a big contract with Walmart and stuff. So I ran all kinds of Walmarts. Hang on a second. Oh, there it is. Gotta make sure Skittles gets to drive by before we start talking. Them boat motors are loud. Anyway, so yeah, I drove for Prairie Farms, and then I had the privilege, for those that lives here in East Tennessee, uh, everybody knows about Mayfield. I got to work for Mayfield for over 4 years, and that was one of the best 4 years of work life that I ever got to experience. And I wish the way that it was still the way it is today. The times are changing, and they're doing whatever they can to get rid of the middleman. So, a bunch of cuts kept happening, and I got tired of the cuts, and I was actually, I never did get cut. But the last cut that happened, I was the very last man to make it. And I had a bunch of friends. There was a bunch of really good friends of mine. I considered brothers. I considered family. That we were a really tight bunch. And I told them, I said, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't do this no more. So I jumped ship. got to working for Weigels, delivering milk for Weigels. And for those that lives here in Tennessee, a bunch of people here in East Tennessee knows about Weigels too. Um, well, um, and I'm not afraid to say this right now because I haven't even got a chance to tell the boss man yet about, I'm about to put my 2 weeks notice in, but I had a job interview just earlier today and uh, got a job offer from Waste Management, doing a roll-off driving. So, you know, pretty cool opportunity to be able to work for a company like Waste Management, and uh, hopefully, we can all agree that we're just doing this for what I feel is best, and that's what it's all about, man. Um, you want to do what's best for your family, but also want to do what's best for yourself too. And it was like that with Mayfield. Hey, look, I love Mayfield to death, and I love delivering milk there. I met a bunch of really good people. Um, we got along really good. We worked together really well. But sometimes you just got to understand that, times when times change, you gotta go with what you feel is best for you. And so to me, that's how I felt. Uh, but anyway, that's so here in the next little bit, I'm about to go get a job at Waste Management, and I'm going to get trained down in Florida of all places. I think the place over there is Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So get trained down there for a couple weeks, then come back up here and okay, sorry, make sure that I get trained up here on the site pretty well too, and um, go about that. Hopefully, it's going to be a really good experience to have there. But I figured I'd go ahead and talk about that for just a little bit while we were on our downtime here, waiting for a fish to bite. Um, but I tell you what, let's do something that is fishing relevant. Let's get our snagging set up out of the way. I just cut this line right here. This is the pole I was telling you about. It's it's also a Bass Pro brand. Let's see what we got. What is the specific brand? Tourney, Tourney, Tourney Special, or the TS model out of Bass Pro Shops. Medium heavy action, 7-foot rod. The line that I've got on here, I already said it earlier, but I'll say it again. It's an 8-pound Suffix line, the G2 sub brand of it. Low vis line, does really good with the way it blends in with clear watercolor. But for those that don't have a hard time seeing line or whatever, or doesn't really care, okay, tight lining. I guess that's the term I'm using. For those that fishes with tight lines and stuff, instead of like bobbers or, just throwing a worm out or whatever and just watching the line jolt or move in a weird direction, whatever. Anyway, for those that, you know, likes this kind of line right here, this is actually a really good line. 8-pound test. It does really good, blended in clear water. Um, it is a lot harder to see when you're fishing in muddy water, but for me, I don't really fish muddy water all that much. Once in a blue moon I do, but I really don't have that much luck on it. But anyway, what I've done is I've done a polymer knot right here. I've done 3 loops around. And if you know how to do a polymer knot, you know how exactly the way that I'm doing the loops. And then I'm cinching the line right there, just getting that right there. But the tag line, that's important. This tag line, I know it's hard to get in the camera angle here, from the treble hook to the end right here, that's about 2 feet, about 24 inches. And what I will do is I'll get an egg sinker to tie on to the end of it right here. Let me turn on a regular light. Let's see here. Just had it sitting right here. Well, Will I be? I literally just had it sitting right here just a minute ago. All right, just making sure I don't have any lines bobbing. There we go. It is a size 3. No, I'm sorry. It comes in 3/4 ounce bass casting sinkers. It's what it is, made by Eagle Claw. Now, it's not necessary to do a polymer knot when you're tying an egg sinker on like this, but for me, I'm just doing it anyway, just out of habit. So if you're not picky like I am, this is how I'll do it. Just do a polymer knot setup just like that. Do 2 loops through the hole like that. Cinch it up. And like I said, for those that knows how to do a polymer knot, you know exactly what I'm doing. For those that don't know how to do a polymer knot, I'm sure there's plenty of videos that will show you exactly how to do a really good polymer knot. I'm not going to do it right now just because it's in the nighttime. It's really hard to really give a good demonstration. But I'm going to cut the tagline like that right there. And let's see here. I got my spider stuck in a tree. Oh man, Chucky, what are you doing, buddy? That ain't no real spider. You can't just throw it in the tree, buddy. Son, that ain't cool. You won't have to get that down for what I think you told me earlier. Them things are expensive, so go climb up that tree and get it, buddy. Doggone it. You won't have to pray for Chucky, y'all. Chucky's just not been doing too good. He been driving through here saying he ain't had no luck catching fish out of Norris Lake. He's trying to go fishing in this creek right here, and where he lives at. And he'll be darned if he can't even fish without getting his little spider stuck in the darn tree. There we go. All right. So here we go. We're gonna try to start snagging right here. Hopefully we'll get something pretty good. There's definitely a lot of shad right here. I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to show y'all the way that I'm snagging here. It's really hard to, well, I might be able to. Let's see what I can do right here. I might be able to get to show you. So hopefully you see my pole and my line right there. And all I'm doing, snagging. That's all you gotta do. Just oh shucks, I'm down at the bottom. I wonder why I ain't snagging them just yet. Here we go. That's all you gotta do. Just wait for one to finally get snagged and then lay her down and start doing your thing. Let it do its work. I don't think it's deep enough or thick enough just yet. Might be one. Well, oh. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. Darn. Thumped his head right there. Didn't get him. Well, you can see one boat's about to come back through here. Nope, they're not thick enough just yet. They'll get there to it though. See you, buddy. Nope, not thick enough just yet. That's all right. What we'll do is we'll leave that bad boy sitting right there. Put this little thing right back here. We'll just go back to waiting. I am actually surprised there's not been a whole lot of action right under this light right here. What in the world? No wonder. What is this bunch of nonsense? Oh, buddy, what a jumbled up mess you made right here. Good Lord. Well, here we go again. Can't catch a break for nothing. You darn heathen. There he is. Yep, the whippoorwill. He's way up there, though. Wait a second. Is that the whippoorwill? That might be the other bird that sounds just like a whippoorwill. I forgot what that bird's called. Sounds awfully familiar or similar to a whippoorwill. I can't really decipher it just yet. What is that other bird called? Not the... There's a whippoorwill and then there's another bird, and it sounds very similar to a whippoorwill, but it's not a whippoorwill. He daring a doornail. No, I'm going to use my deep sea pole and I'm going to knock it out. Hey, there you go. Hope you get it, Chucky. I know all too well just how aggravating that can get. All right. I'll be darned. I know I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing. I think I just saw a dang gar. Ah, daggum gar. Good grief, I hope that's not what it was. There might be somebody that'll say, man, I love to catch a gar. Better you than me. I wouldn't want to fool with them stinking things. Them little sharp teeth, little son of a biscuits, I wouldn't be fooling with them. Not crappie fishing, at least. If I want to go straight for gar, I'll just go in the middle of the day and say forget it on tonight. I cannot stress enough to you all how much I hate gar. Absolutely hate it. Tell you one thing, he better not come around and ruin my fishing. I'll get him. Yep, that's what he is. He's right there outside that light. Let me see if I can't. Nah, I spooked him. Yep, that's what he is. He's that darn gar. I'll make a promise to y'all on this. If I don't catch a crappie by, no, I don't know, because of that darn gar, I'll push the time to 11:30. If I don't catch a crappie or at least something by 11:30, I'm gonna call it. 'Cause that ain't worth the flip. Them darn gar, they'll. To me, I've yet to have caught crappie after seeing gar. Once I see gar, the chance of me catching a crappie are almost zero. If that's the case, then I won't even fool with it. I promise you all that. You dang gar. Let's see here. We're almost 2 full hours into this right here. I don't know, folks. I might, like I said, it depends. If 11:30 rolls around, we've not caught another crappie by then, I just about guarantee you that we're gonna go ahead and shut this video down. There's that darn gar. You fool thing. He's about, oh, I can't even. He's about, I don't know, about 18 inches long. That's the other bad thing about gar too. He's spooking away my darn shad right here. For what I've seen, it's just one gar. Oh, got a fish right here, folks. That's a good fish. Walleye be. Here I am talking about where I daggum. Every time I've seen a gar, I've never caught a crappie, and it goes and proves me wrong. It's a keeper. I don't have to measure that at all. That is an absolute dandy of a keeper. That's a solid 11. Boy, I'm gonna get the pliers for you though, boy. Yep. Well. Oh yeah, he's an 11 all right. Ain't got to worry about measuring that. Boy, that's a good crappie. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's definitely measured. All right. After all of that, Lord, thank you. All that scrutiny that I gave out on that darn gar, scaring fish away and everything, and then all of a sudden I catch a keeper. I love fishing. When you think you got something figured out, and then all of a sudden it gives you a little curveball like that, that's something cool, buddy. All right. Turn that off. Let's do her again. Had it about like that right there. We never have luck either once we see a gar. The only thing we might catch would be a catfish. Yeah, them catfish, they're not too worried about gar. For most part, I mean, I know gar goes down to the bottom, but for most of the time I've seen gar always at the top. Catfish, unless they're spawning, they're always around the bottom, so. Well, that made me look like a lying little fool, talking about seeing that gar right there and swimming around. And I mean, he's not but that far from the top of the water. You know, he's not very shallow or very deep at all. Oh, okay, there you go. But anyway, that's funny. That's 3 fish now that I've caught on this side of the boat, but my light's over here. So guess what I'm about to do? That's what I thought too. Go where the fish is. Huh. I just had a hit right over there. I say a hit. A fish jumped. But he jumped right next to where my bobber is. Yeah, I just so happened to be looking at the camera, and at the corner of my eye, I saw like a reflection from that light that's shining on my face right here, coming off that line. And I got to look, and I'm like, whoop, we got a fish. That line started going this way, and I said, yep, that is a bona fide fish right there. Tell you one thing, y'all. Here next little bit when that was funny. Heard something crazy. So the first fish I caught was more towards the front of the boat, which is in shallower water. The last 2 fish I've caught have now been right here off of this little ultralight pole right here. This is about close to 20 feet of water. It's probably about 18 or 19 feet. I've got it set at about 8 to 9 feet in depth. There's really not any, I mean, there is structure by, but not close to the boat. I've got it set, sorry. I've got it set up where I really don't have any snags. And the, the rocks that are on the bottom of where I've anchored out is that smooth little limestone kind of, slate looking kind of rock. So there's nothing, no boulders, no jagged rocks, nothing like that sticking up where you can snag on it. I'm in a really good place actually, as far as, you know, where fish will still come around without having to worry of. Something's got them crows messed up. It's 11 o'clock at night. That's something crazy. Yeah, something's got them messed up. Uh-oh. Hang on, folks. Where's my bobber? Oh, there it is. Never mind. False alarm, folks. I thought my bobber went down. Oh, man. Well, now what do? I just sat there and said, I'll give it to 11:30. If I don't catch a fish by then, I'm going to hit that, go and start heading to the house after seeing that gar. And I know that gar is still right here. I just haven't seen him. But, yep, there he is. I literally, I don't know if I can, no. I want to try to get a view of him and then try to put the camera on him so y'all know I'm not lying to you. There's that darn gar is right here on the back of the boat, and he's swimming right over this way right here. He's about to swim back around. And oh, there he is. Let me see if I can't get him. Oh, he went down just a little bit. Darn it. Come on up. I'm going to get you. If I can't snag you and try to scare you to where, you know, you'll stop messing with my bait. Darn you, where did you go? I mean, you can see my bait right there, folks. It's there's enough small bait right there, but there's not enough big baits to be able to snag. And it's because of that darn gar. That gar is scaring away and eating a lot of those bigger shad that I'm trying to snag. Let's see here. Something jumped over there. Well, alrighty then. I'll get that darn gar. Don't you worry. It may not be when I'm on camera, but I will get that darn gar. Sorry, I keep putting that light in y'all's face. Oh, Lordy. Oh, I don't even have y'all. There we go. The thing that stinks is there's not really a set pattern tonight. There's not a set pattern for depth, and there's not a set pattern for, you know, the time of, okay, sometimes you'll go every 5 minutes, you'll catch a fish. But I don't know. With that gar right there, it's throwing a big monkey wrench into my play right here, and it's aggravating the fire out of me. See, the thing is, if it's 10 o'clock and I saw that gar, I wouldn't have a bit of problem moving. It would stink, and it would take a little bit to draw them shad up, but I would move to another spot, and it would have just bit the time of pulling the anchor up, getting the line put in, going to the new spot, retying up, re-anchoring down on the back, all that stuff. By that time, you can be done by 10:30, 10:40-ish, something like that. What in the world was that? Something just hit the against the boat. Whatever that was a big vibration. That darn whatever hit the boat. That would have been a game fish instead of a bait fish, because that was a pretty heavy thump. Oh no, man, it's gonna go be that gator Gumby, man. You know that old gator there over at Norris Lake, man. You're gonna have to go over there to pull them toes out of that water before that gator go jump on them those toes, boy. Yeah, that's the worst Cajun accent I could have ever given y'all. I'm sorry you had to listen to that. But that old gator Gumby, man, he gonna go up there and eat them toes up like them old sausage links, boy. You don't mind that old toes, man. He lies them old little toes dangling right there off that side of that old boat, boy. He don't no mess with me, no. He ain't messing with me one bit. I make sure I knock every teeth out of old Gator Gumby's mouth right there. You won't be able to go chomp. He'll go womp. He can't do nothing with old teeth though, boy. He'd be walking around there toothless. Mess with me, he messing with the wrong boy. Boy out of Knoxville, Tennessee, boy. We don't mess around right here, boy. We throw mustard at football players. That's right. Big old mustard bottles, you better believe it. We don't like that old mustard bottle right there, old from Frenchie's. Nope. We just might as well go ahead and toss it right over there at old that Alabama football. I'll be darned. I'll be darned. We're gonna come over there at UT Stadium thinking they're gonna go over there and beat the old snot out of them little Tennessee Volunteer boys. Tell you what, they gave them a good old whooping right there. The old Frenchie bottle right there showed them the lesson too, boy. Now we got old Gator Gumby out here at Norris Lake. We're trying to get him. Old Gator Gumby. That's what I call him. I don't know what y'all want to call your gator, but of all the things, okay, so for those, I don't know how national it went or regional or whatever, but sorry, my allergies are bothering me. There was some idiot redneck inbred moron that apparently had a gator for a pet, and they let the darn gator out at Norris Lake because it got too big, I suppose, instead of doing the right thing and taking it over to a game warden or somebody that with an authority to know what to do with a gator in Tennessee, and just let it out here in Norris Lake going crazy. And they had to have the game warden come out and deal with that gator after after that darn I think it was oh, sorry y'all, I didn't even realize I had a fish on till it was too late. Well, let's see what's going on right here. Stop that. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I put that light in y'all's face. Trying to deal with this darn crappie right here. He's another keeper. No doubt about that. I have to cut the line though. But that's okay. I'll deal with that. Hey, stop that. Show off. Oh yeah, that's another 11. It's a carbon copy of this one that I just threw in a little bit ago. Let's see. I hate that he swallowed it, but that's all right. Most important thing is I think I found a pattern. Maybe. Finally. It took till about 11 or 10 after 11 to find it, but nevertheless, I think we got it. Let's see right here. No, I lost it. Oh, man. Lost the darn spider, buddy. Chucky, you're just going to have to come out here with me, buddy. You and your buddy over there that you were fishing in that boat with, both of y'all need to just hop on board right here and just, I got plenty of minnows in this bucket right here. Get your boat back out here. Come on out. I'll let you tag along, bud. I'm out here all by myself, and them bass boaters have finally left and calmed down. We're enjoying a peaceful night right here now. That's the first time I've ever had to deal with that, though. I never caught fish, let alone crappie, especially crappie. But I've never caught crappie after seeing a darn gar. And it wasn't no small gar either. Like I said, that sucker is probably 15 to 18 inches long. So for them crappie to still be out with that gar swimming around, that's impressive. I'm an idiot. You know what I just realized? I bet you that little vibration earlier that I felt like a fish hit the boat. I bet you that it was that one, that the first crappie that I kept. I bet you it was that crappie, and it just tried to swim and beat up against the wall of that darn live well there. If I can talk, I'll be all right. Let's see here. All right, now it's your turn. I got a wadded up mess right there. Let's see, where did I set that? There it is. So something, well, I say something. I want to bet that when that fish got a hold of that line that's right here behind me here, when he tried to take off with it, he wrapped around the one that's up here towards the front of the boat. And that's how I lost my minnow that way. I want to say it for my sake of mine because I don't want to think that I wasn't paying attention and the daggum fish stole my bait. I'll tell you something, folks. To the common man, it's probably something very simple. Oh, I'm sorry, you said something there. I'm going back in the daylight and get it. And I wish. Oh, and I wish, yeah. Yeah, buddy, whenever you see me out, man, just come on. Shucks, I wouldn't even care to take you home. Let your buddy take the boat home and you come out with me and fish. Or y'all just park the boat up there and y'all just hop on my boat and come on back over here in this spot. We'll all just have a good old time, buddy. Alrighty. There you are. How in the world did I get my camera right on you? You stinking gar. There's my bobber. I mean, as soon as I moved my light to where I was trying to find my bobber, I saw that stinking gar. I think that's only reason I believe that them fish were still biting, talking about the crappie. I'm catching them pretty deep, and that gar has been up shallow the whole time that I've seen him. He went down a couple of times here and there, but they're just not thick. But I at least thumped that head right there. Boy, I don't know. Holy cow, no wonder why that thing took off. I want y'all to look at this northern strain bluegill. Son, he took off so hard, he almost pulled that darn... Golly, what a flipping... I don't care what y'all say, this is a really big, girthy northern strain bluegill. Look at that, compared to the size of my hand right there. That's a keeper. I'm keeping that. Ow. Powerful little sucker. I have never, at night, caught a bluegill of this size off of a minnow. In the day for sure, but not at night. I have to cut the line for him too. Son. I mean, he saw that darn minnow right here and he absolutely murdered it. I'm flat out talking about he just daggum went for it. He going in the bucket. I'm telling y'all right now. Here. There you go. Son. All right. I'm not joking, y'all. He about pulled that darn fishing pole down in that water. I need to be a lot more careful. I would have never expected a darn northern strain bluegill, especially of that size, to bite in the night like this. That's pretty cool. And to beat that, that was off a size 2 hook. A darn eagle claw bait holder hook. And he took off with that. That's impressive in my opinion. For a bluegill. Richard Jean calls him, I'm going to be at Palmer's Junction this weekend. Oh yeah, buddy. We'll find some time. Hang on out, get to shoot the bull and catch some fish. But golly, I know y'all didn't hear that. I couldn't even see it, but there was a huge fish that just jumped up the creek channel up here. Probably a big stripe. But what was I saying? Oh, them minnows. Richard Jean, the fishing machine, he calls them toughies. That's the first time when I started watching his channel. That's the first time I ever heard minnows called toughies. I've always heard minnows, minnows, or shad, which we all know, the difference. But when he said toughies, I thought that actually made pretty good sense too, calling them toughies. I'll do. Oh, you already sent that. Sorry, Chuck. I sunglasses because I've got the astigmatism, but in the night when I'm driving is my worst because them headlights, the way they shine right in my face. Sorry, I just heard a car horn go off. Oh. Huh. I thought I had a fish on. I did have a fish on with this back one right here. No, sorry, I got distracted by that car alarm because, it's 11:30 at night. Why is there a car alarm? I don't think it's mine. I mean, it stopped. If it was mine, then... Oh, Lordy. Sorry. Better out than in, I always say. Huh, that was weird. It says, lost connection or something like that. Huh, that was weird. Man, I hate to cut this short, y'all, but I think I need to go. Something's funny about that car alarm going off at 11:30. That, well, little, it's not. Yeah, pretty much 11:30. I need to catch more fish, but I need to make sure my truck's safe. I hate to be that way, but I really don't know if that car alarm was from my truck, somebody out in the campground. Yep. Sorry, y'all. I want to cut it short. Better safe than sorry. So I want us to go ahead and start packing it up right here. I'm actually going to let these fish go. I want to keep them. The crappie and a bluegill, you saw how good that's been anyway here. Could have had both more fish pulled up as far as crappie and more minnows pulled up. Minnows, shad, more shad pulled up. But because of that darn gar, he's made it quite a task to keep my cool. But anyway, I don't know. I like I said, I'd rather go and see for myself if the truck is fine or not. But you never know with people these days. I'll tell you that much right now. There's a bunch of dumb people out there. Alrighty, y'all. That's going to do it for the night. I apologize for not catching more fish than what I hoped to catch, but I hope y'all did enjoy the video, and whoever all wants to tune in and watch this later on and gets to enjoy what you saw right here. Wasn't much, but that's what it matters, man. Fishing it's just great to be able to get outdoors and all that stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and let these fish go, and I'll catch y'all out. Thank y'all for supporting this channel and tuning in with me and getting the chat with me here. Hope y'all have a wonderful night, and God bless y'all. Thank you.